Okay, before I get ready to start this video, I'm going to see if you guys can see this. You may not be able to see it. Right in here, you can see where the water's rippled at. Those are bait fish. They already done hatched. Those are little small fry. Let me see if I can get down there and show you guys. You can see where it's smooth, 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 and you see patches of stuff swimming. Okay? You see patches, and every now and again, you'll see the predators underneath make the fish jump up out of the water. See, that's a whole school right there. That's an entire school of little small fry that has just recently hatched. Now, I want you guys to remember this, okay? I am in another 3-4 weeks, possibly sooner, because the weather has gotten so warm. I'm trying to see if they're going to jump on me, okay? I'm trying to see. There they are. The predators just came underneath. I saw some of them jump out of the water. You can see where it's smooth, smooth, smooth. As a matter of fact, over there, you can see patches of the bait fish there, a ball of bait fish there, and also right here, there's a ball. Look, they're jumping right there. See them jumping? The predators are underneath. They're already feeding. So, the reason why I want to show you guys this is because pre-spawn, it may be early. It may be early. Look at that. You see them jumping. Okay, I hope you guys will see it on the camera. Look at that. There's another bait ball right here. That's another bait ball right here. Let me see if they're going to jump. Look at them. Incredible. Okay, and a lot of you guys don't know what to look for, but when you spend as much time on the water like I do, look at that, right in front of us. The predators are underneath. And let me tell you guys this, a lot of time you guys think that they're bass, but they're not. They're crappie. Crappie are mean fish, and they feed just like bass do. Okay, they'll corner these bait fish in a cove, and they'll pin them there and keep them there until they done polished all of them off. Incredible. You can see the spots out there. Those are balls. They just hatched. Little fry. So that means the crappie are going to be in pre-spawn here within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. Listen, let's get to the video, guys. I was hoping I was going to let them see it jump out of the water again. So I can show you exactly what I will be using. Look. See them? Right there. And look how close it is to the shallow water. Look at that. They're over here feeding too. Look at that. That is incredible to see this. We're at the top. I'm still in January. Okay, but they're getting tricked. Look. They're getting tricked. Listen, I sound like a little kid. Let me show you what I will be running, guys. My carbon fiber rod. Let's get into the video. This is your boy Cam at Cam's Crappie Hole YouTube Fishing. Yank! Okay, this is that express wave. You saw my last video. If you haven't, spend some time on my channel and you'll be able to see all of them are dated, okay? I try to post as often as I can because I know you guys are busy. But look, this is that point. You can see where I dropped right there, okay? This is where the crappie are going to run like an expressway. It's only about 2.5 feet deep right here. It drops off over on this side, about 10, 11 feet. On this side, 9 feet, okay? But you can see that marker I got right there. It's only about 14 inches right there. Let me show you. We're going to pull up on this brush pile that I just put down. Okay, I'm going to try to film right here. I'm going to try, but the wind's starting to get high. Okay, let me pull up here. I want to show you guys what the beavers have already done. Wind's starting to get high. Okay, we got some rain coming in, and I may not be able to film here. I may have to go down a little bit, but I'm going to try. Okay, I got a sock on my mic, but it still may give me some trouble. Let me see if I can get down here so I can show you guys this. Time I put it in here, you guys have to remember, when you put something in the ground, it's a totally different world in this water. Look at that. You see how the beaver's been cutting the branches off? That's not me. I didn't do that. You can see the white dots. Okay? The beaver did all that. The beavers, I should say. In fact, let me see if I can push up a little bit and show you this. Look at this from this side. Look. See that? Look at that. The beavers did that. You see a little white spot, you see dark, then you see spot. They already stripping the bark off of it. Okay? When you guys get ready to go to bed, that's when they come and do this. They're nocturnal. Alright? I'm gonna try to see if I can film and show you guys the rods that I will be using. I'm hoping I can set up, but the wind is kind of strong here. Okay, it's kind of strong. Let me get over here and I'm gonna show you. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Let me put you up on the pedestal. I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. As usual, if you guys have any questions, you know how to reach me. I'm going to get set up and I'm going to show you how my carbon fiber rods. Now notice I have not been using my rods. I've just been dropping habitat. Okay, I've been dropping the last 6 videos that I've done is just strictly dropping habitat because we're about 3-4 weeks away from me catching fish. Now, once that time comes for me catching fish, class is over with. I'm not teaching. I'm showing then. I'm showing. All right, so I always try to illustrate how I'm catching fish so you can get out there and do it too. I try to come here and show you how my equipment works, from my diesel built hooks, from my nasty bend hooks, from my stinger shad plastics, from my curly tail plastics, from my paddle tail plastics. And we have kits, so it makes it easy for you guys to decide what you want. Because remember, when you're crappie fishing, it's all about the colors. Look how shallow I am. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this anchor right in here. You can see I got the marker right here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this anchor so I know I can stay on point. See, I just dropped it. Okay, but you can hear the wind. Even though I got a sock, let me see if I can stay on point with that anchor. Hopefully, it won't let me go down too far. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Stop me right there. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set up, guys. I'm on this point right here. This is where I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna drop anchor just like I just did, and I'm gonna pull up right here, and I'm just gonna toss. Okay, I'll be running that curly tail. And by the way, before I get ready to get started, I want to tell you guys, I want you to understand that I am a manufacturer and I am a supplier all across the country with plastics. A lot of you guys are using my stuff right now. It's just packaged differently. I supply a lot of mom and pop stores out there, okay? But they package it differently. So, when we do a run, I may do a run of 300,000 pieces. I may do a run of 100,000 pieces. If I'm doing a test run, I may do 50,000 pieces, okay? We have 172 different rod and reels on the market today. You can go by there, all of them are carbon fiber. And if listen, I also have a second store. If you want to custom build your rod, you want this reel to go with that rod, you can do that. I have 2 stores. In one store, I got almost 5,000 products in there. We're the largest crappie e-commerce store in the world. And the second one, Cam's Crappie Combos, everything over in that store comes with free shipping. All right. Did I forget anything? I hope I didn't. Let me put you up top, guys, so I can show you exactly how I'm going to be casting. I'm going to be running the White Ghost, which is my signature series, the top of the line, and I'm going to be running my Black and Red Warhorse, which is the rod combo, crappie rod combo of the year. The Black and Red Warhorse. All right. So sit back, relax, get yourself something to drink, guys. Get a sub sandwich. Matter of fact, give me half of it, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I got. It's your boy Cam at Cam's Crappie Hole. Yank. And everything that you see that I'm using is going to be right down there in the description. Okay. Let me see if I can get you guys right here. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can turn you just a little bit. All right. So you can see the brush pile over there, right? And again, I'm using that same concept, just a little bobber or cork, okay, that you buy at the big box store. I just use it just to put on here. I have no hook on here, no jig, okay? I'm just going to show you guys how accurate all of my carbon fiber rods are. That's the purpose of this video right here. So right here where I'm sitting right now, guys, it's only about 16 inches. Up there it drops down to about 2.5, 3 feet. Crappie going to use this like an expressway, okay? They're going to use this just like an expressway. So my job, and I want to mention to you guys, I got a sock on the end, but the wind, we got some rain coming in, so if it gets too high, I'm going to stop the video because I don't want to make it seem like you guys can't hear everything what I'm saying. All right, so the key is to make sure that your cast pay off. Okay, you got to put that jig where it is supposed to go, that plastic. Okay, if you can't control where that plastic and that hook goes so the crappie can see it, you're out there just wasting time. That's not what this whole thing is about. Once you get where the crappie are, you got to be extremely precise in your throwing. Okay, your casting has got to be spot on. So understand that this Black and Red Warhorse, I got it in a 6 foot, I got it in a 6'2", and I also have it in a 6'6". Okay, so you decide which one that you want. All right, now watch this. I want you guys to see now. Also, these are ultralights. Okay, I'll go into more detail when I do that small cutaway. So I know the first place I'm going to start is to the left, middle, and the right. Okay, that's where I'm going to start. And generally, I throw past the brush pile. Look at that. Flick of the wrist. You saw that? flick of the wrist. Notice where my rod tip is. It's up at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because I know it's shallow up there. I don't want to cast and hold my rod tip down like this. That means if you hold your rod tip down towards the water, that means it's going to dive deep. I know it's shallow up there. Do you follow my point of what I'm making? I know it's shallow up there, okay? Let's do another cast. But please, I want you guys to understand, it's just a flick of the wrist. Look at that. Pow! That's 20 yards right there. Okay? Slow that jig down. Well, Cam, let me ask you this, Cam. Let me reel this up real quick. I want to reel this up because I got something I want to say to you guys. Let me turn around. I want you guys to understand this. Let me pull you down a little bit so you guys can see me. I want you guys to understand this. Let me push back. I developed these crappie rod and reels. I developed them. And I want to kind of give you guys something else. It's very important. Let me see if I can turn you down just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Well, Cam, why do I want your crappie rod and reel? Why I use that one versus any other one? I lowered the gear ratio. I lowered the gear ratio in all of my reels because these are designed for panfish, crappie, trout, yellow perch, bluegill, shell crackers. You guys may call them brim, okay? And everything about this rod and reel I designed. The EVA split grip, the Fuji reel seat, the hook holder right here, the little details that go into it, pure carbon fiber rod, look, shiny here, matte finish here, okay? This is the black and red Warhorse. I got a 6-pound drag right here on the top, makes it click, 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 easy dial in, okay? Anodized gears in the inside, soft to the touch crank handle, and a surefire bail. I don't know if you guys ever had a reel that the bar won't click, it won't hold, okay? Mine doesn't do that. And plus, on top of that, guys, I back all of my rod and reels for life. Okay, go to the website and find out all the details. But this is my black and red Warhorse, and I'm going to go into more detail when I do the cutaway. But the reason why I want you guys to use that you want a crappie rod and reel from me is because the biggest mistake that you can make in the spring, in the next 4 weeks, is retrieving that jig too fast. Okay, you have to slow it down. Well, Cam, what do you mean slow it down? Let me see if I can show it to you. Let's see if I can show it to you. Okay, there it is. Bingo, found it. On my reels, you can see it. You're not gonna be able to see it too close, okay? But when you get it, you'll understand. On there it shows the gear ratio. Let me put my hand up here. It shows the gear ratio, 5:1:1. Well, Cam, what does 5:1:1 mean? You've seen it on your bass reels, 6:4:2, 6:4:1, 6:5:1, 6:3:1. Let me explain to you. I lowered this gear ratio because I know that you guys, some of y'all bass fish, and if you bass fish and crappie fish, that's one of the biggest errors you can make. Because when you're bass fishing, you're covering a lot of water. You're zipping, and you're retrieving that lizard or that plastic worm back into your bait caster as fast as you can. 7.3, 7.6 rod. Guys, that's too much tackle when you're fishing for crappie. These are ultralights, okay? They're designed for accuracy and they're designed for sensitivity, okay? So my gear ratio I lowered to 5:1:1. So that means for every one crank handle turn of this reel, that bail will spin 5.1 times. Or is it time? Or is it times? Okay? So 5:1:1 means one crank handle, full crank handle, that bail will spin 5.1 times. So if you have a 6:4:1, 6:5:1, that means for every revolutionary turn of this crank handle, that bail, if you're 6:5:1, will spin 6.4 times. That's a lot of retrieval, okay? It's going to allow you to reel that plastic in fast. Mine aren't designed for that. My reels are designed to help you slow that jig down, okay? Now, let's get back up there again so I can show you guys. I'm going to pull you right up close to me again, okay? Now again, I got the Warhorse right now, okay? I got the Warhorse. Let me pull you back up so you guys will be able to see. I want to make sure I pull you back up. There you go. Okay, I'm running the warhorse. Make sure you guys can see. Bingo. There you go. Okay, now, again, I'm covering the left side again. Okay, watch me. I'm going to cover again. Look, accuracy. Look, flick of the wrist. Boom. You see that? That's how you get hung, too. Watch this. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, and let me tell you this. Did you see what I just did? I looped that bobber right over the top of that brush. And when it falls right in the other side, that's when crappie are going to hit. Bow! Okay, so always be ready, because I'm telling you, crappie are going to bite when you least expect it. Okay, let's cover the right side of that brush over there. Okay, so we got to figure out, we know they're up there. Watch this. Accuracy. Look at that. Pow! That's 20, 22, 24 yards, just like that. Rod tip up at 12 o'clock, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Okay, when you get that hit, look, I want to show you guys this now. When you get that hit, let me make sure I bend you down just a touch. When you get that hit, you don't have to set the hook and do all that. Look, just raise your rod tip and get the slack out. Because you're running that diesel built hook, which is 7 times sharper than any hook that you guys can get in the big box store. Okay, when you get those hooks and pull them out, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you guys that run that nasty bin hook, well, Cam, what's the difference between a nasty bin hook and a diesel built hook? My diesel builts are a 1/0 hook. They're a touch sharper than that nasty bin. That nasty bin, I pass it through the chemical sharpener about 4 or 5 times. That diesel built, I chemically sharpen it 7 times. Okay, and also the hook is bigger on that diesel built hook. So all of my crew that fish here with me, we've been running that diesel built for the last 7 years. Those nasty bin hooks are super, super sharp. But those diesel built, listen, you decide whether you want to run unpainted or you want painted. That's on you, okay? I generally run painted. And as we start moving forward into pre-spawn, I'll show you the diesel built hooks again. Okay, so look, I want to hit right in front of that brush pile. Watch this. I want you guys to watch. Flick of the wrist. Right in front of the brush pile. Boom! You see that? Okay, the boat or the camera didn't even move. I'm going to show it to you again. Watch with a flick of the wrist. The boat does not move. How many of you guys been on the boat with somebody that throw it and the boat does like this? The boat, just, when he casts. Dude, you don't have to do all that. And listen, when that happens, you got to say, hey, man, hey, calm down. Whoa, what's going on? You don't have to do that with my rod and reels. Watch. I want to show it to you again. Okay? Flick of the wrist. Right in front of the brush pile. Boom! You see that? Okay, I want to show this to you. Let's say we want to go past the brush pile. Look at that blue heron. Let's say we want to go past the brush pile thing. Right in front. Flick of the wrist. Look. Boom. You see that? Look where the rod tip is. There are little things that I'm doing, guys, that you're not picking up on. Okay? Notice when that jig, or this bobber in this case, hits, notice where my rod is located. It's not down in the water. You have to pay attention to what's going on. Okay? Now I'm going to do a long cast past almost up there to the bank, which is about 25 yards. Watch this. Flick of the wrist. Pow! You see that? Okay? Notice where that rod tip is. Every time when that jig lands, my rod tip is in the same spot. Okay? And I wish I could show you guys how slow that I'm reeling. Okay? Get into a pattern of reeling in a consistent reel. That way when something hits it, your rod stops. But if you're sitting there doing this, guys, you got to get into a pattern. Okay? Let's cover that right side again. I want to make sure I show you guys. Again, I'm running the black and red warhorse. Everything's right down there in the description. You want to read about it. Look at that. Pow! Look at that. Look how close I am to that brush. Okay? Get into a consistent reel pattern. Okay? And slow that jig down. That is the most important thing that I can tell you guys. And a lot of times, guys, if you're fishing with your buddy, the one thing that he is doing that you're not doing, you're not slowing that jig down. You're whizzing it by them. You got to remember that water temperature is still cold. Okay? And when that water temperature is still cold, the crappie are cold. It's not summertime fishing. This is when the water's cold. They're still a little bit lethargic. So if you whiz that by them too fast, they're not going to do anything but just sit there and look at it. Okay, one more cast with this black and red warhorse. This is the rod and reel of the year. All right? Right Right down there and below, guys, free shipping. And also on top of that, it comes with a lifetime warranty. Watch this. Flick of the wrist. Always remember with a flick of the wrist. You're not going to see the camera move. Look at that. The camera didn't even move. That's when I show you guys. And look, you don't have to worry about the boat doing this. Okay? You don't have to worry about that when I cast. How you have that rod tip when that jig lands is just as important as you throwing that jig and hitting that correct spot. You got to remember, during pre-spawn, the crappie are going to be in the shallow water. Okay, they're going to be in shallow water. So therefore, every time when you're throwing, when you're doing casting and retrieving, you have to remember, you do not want that jig to drag the bottom, because if it drags the bottom, it's going to pick up leaves, weeds, sticks, it's going to pick up anything. Okay, your job is to keep it either in the middle or the top of the water column. That's what your job is. Okay, and I'm going to show you. Watch, every time that you see me cast, I'm supposed to be picking up the white ghost now. Every time that you see me cast, look where my rod tip is. I'm going all the way up top again. Okay, all the way up top. I want to pull you guys back so you can see. Look at that. Boom. Look where my rod tip is. Look where my rod tip is. Okay, that's just as important as you hitting that right spot. Okay, and a lot of times I got that high, Cam, why are you running high vis line? A lot of times you'll see that line jump. Boop. That lets you know that crappie on. And listen, when you're fishing, you got to fish on, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do all that, man. You're running my nasty bin on my diesel built hooks. You don't have to do all that. This is what you do. When you know that fish is on, you see that line jump, look, just tighten the line up, raise that rod tip. That's all you got to do, because you're using a super sharp hook. And a lot of you guys are not used to running a sharp hook. Okay? So let me put this black and red warhorse down. Let me pull you back a little bit. Okay, so you can see me. All right. I'm going to put the black and red warhorse down. And look what I'm getting ready to pick up now. Look. This is the white ghost. I'm going to go into detail with it a little bit more. This is the white ghost. This is my signature series. Okay, she's all white, 10+1 barbarian. The black and red warhorse has 8+1. This one has 11. That one has 9. Okay, this is the best that I make. Okay, it has titanium gears in it, pure carbon fiber rod, Fuji Real C, anodized gears, but she is super, super smooth. Same 6-pound drag. Okay, same soft to the touch crank handle. Okay, so I also want to mention this, and any of my rods, if you're left or right-handed, it doesn't matter. You can switch the crank handle out, put it on this side, or if you want it on the other side, you can do that. You can switch out. It doesn't matter. Okay? And all of mine come with a lifetime warranty replacement, the rod and the reel. But this is what I want to tell you guys. This is the best that I make. I also make my signature series in a thunder blue. I make it in a matrix red. I make it in an orange Poseidon. I make it in a blacked out titanium. Okay? And also, I make it in the white ghost. I got a feeling that I'm missing one, but I can't remember right off the top of my head. So, let's do the same thing with my signature series. Now, I want to say this to you guys. This signature series is made, this is the best that I have. For all you guys out there that like all the bells and whistles, this is why I created this, my signature series. This is all the bells and whistles, okay? Let's see if I can get you guys back. Okay, you're right where you need to be. Let's hit right along the left side of that structure. Okay? Flick of the wrist. Boom. Just like that. Flick of the wrist. Now, I want you guys to remember the reason why I designed these rod and reels to be so sensitive, because 3 out of 4 times crappie will bite your plastic. They'll come up right behind it and bite it, and you won't even know it. So if you got a big 7.6 medium action, guys, you're not going to feel it. Okay, you're not gonna feel it. They'll taste your jig and you won't even know it. Look, going back down that same side. Look at that. Bow. Same side. Okay, when I get this reel back up, look, notice where my rod position is. Okay, 1 o'clock. All right, it's just the little things when you're crappie fishing, guys. And listen, crappie are smart. You guys don't think so. Crappie think. And I know you guys are going to say, man, come on, fish don't. Yes, they do. Okay, you're not fishing for bass or catfish. You're fishing for crappie, aka Listen, wait a minute, let me back you up a little bit because I got something to say. I keep talking and running my noise hole. Let me pull you guys down. I got something to say. Down here in the South, Atlanta, Georgia, which is where we're located, we call them crappie here. You also have black crappie and you have white crappie. And you can have a different strand of crappie. But up north, they call them strawberry bass. Okay, down south in Florida, they call them specks. Okay, so pardon me if I don't get the correct name where you're located. It's because of geographically where you are. In Louisiana, they call them sac-a-lait, which means mother's milk. Okay, in Midwest, they call them paper mouth. Also, certain parts of the country, they call them white perch. Okay, so it all depends on where you're located, and some places they call them calico bass. Okay, so it all depends on where you're located. Let's get back up there. I want to show you guys again with the white ghost. And remember, all of these rod and reels are right down there in the description. Okay, my diesel bill hooks are down there as well. I'm going to have plastics down there, curly tails or stinger shad. Okay, we'll go over on another video what colors I will be using. Okay, we'll do that on another video. I want to mention to you guys, as I said before, I am a manufacturer and I am a supplier. Okay, I do large runs of everything. Okay, and by the way, I want to say this to you too. If for some of you guys out there that are in the market for a backpack tackle box, look, I got you covered. If you're in the market for a backpack tackle box, let me push you back a little bit so you guys can see. There you go. Look, we got storage here. Okay, mine weighs 21 pounds. You can put a full pack, a 12-pack of coat up underneath here. Matter of fact, I think I got in here already. I got my full rain suit in here, my bottom and my top. And my tackle box, yes, I got here's the top, and here's the bottom. Look, I got a full rain suit in my backpack tackle box. And I want to tell you guys, mine is 8 years old. My backpack tackle box is 8 years old, plus it's water resistant. But look, that's not the beauty of this tackle box. It comes like this. Let me back up a little bit more so you guys will be able to see. Look at these Plano boxes. Okay, I'm gonna have it up there on the screen so you guys can see it. They come brand new shrink wrap. Okay, brand new. Got a place where you keep your needle nose pliers here. How many times you guys can't find your needle nose pliers? Okay, let me zip that up real quick. I want to show you the back. Okay, look, it's breathable, and on top of that, it's water resistant. You get the same storage space here. This quite possibly is your last backpack tackle box that you'll ever purchase. Let me see if I can turn you a little bit. Okay, same storage that you got here, you got over on this side. Large zippers, because I have very, very big hands. Okay, 8 years old, and none of the zippers have come off track. And it's water resistant. Okay, look under the bottom. You got the cleats. So no matter what you put in there, it's always designed to stand straight up. Okay, so also it's slim, so you can put it between your seat. All right, for those of you guys that are interested in a backpack tackle box for spring, look, this is how I always grab mine right here. Okay, so guys, it's storage galore, plus it's padded on the back. Okay, these straps here are adjustable. Okay, matter of fact, while I'm right here, I'm going to go over that white ghost. You saw the black and red warhorse. Let me put this back right there, making sure it stands up. Let's go over the black and red warhorse, and also, as you guys saw, this is the white ghost, my signature series. Now listen, but this right here was designed for you guys that like all the bells and whistles. Okay, that likes the V12, that likes the CL65. Okay, that likes the 750, likes the Ferrari, the Lamborghini. That's what this is for. Let me pull you up a little bit. Oh boy, I can get you. My hand is hurting. Okay, that's what I designed my signature series for. Okay, all of them will be listed right down there below. All right, lifetime warranty with it. Okay, titanium gears in the inside. Okay, surefire bail, Fuji reel seat, 6-pound drag, soft to the touch crank handle, left or right handed, it doesn't matter. Okay, that is my top of the line. It comes in a thunder blue. It comes in the white ghost, blacked out titanium, which has been our leading seller for so long, matrix red, orange Poseidon. We got all of them, and of course the white ghost. All right, rod combo of the year for less money. This is my magic stick. This is my Cam's magic stick. Okay, 8+1 ball bearing. That one right there is 11. That's 10+1. Okay, this is my magic stick, so you guys can see it. Okay, Super, just same Fuji Reel C, guys. Carbon fiber rod, 8 guides. That one has 8 guides. You can get this in a 6 foot, you can get it in a 6'2", or you can get it in a 6'6". Whichever one that you feel more comfortable with. Well, Cam, what's the difference between a 6'6" and a 6 foot? Think of it like, I hate to use this analogy. Think of it about like having a pistol versus a rifle. A rifle, you can shoot longer distance. Okay, let me rephrase that word. You can fire long distance. A pistol, only so far. Okay, so if you think that you're a professional, you can get away with a 6 foot because you know how to run it. You know how to keep that tip up in the air. It's less room for error when you use a shorter pole. Okay, 6'6" give you more room for you to maneuver because it's longer. You got more control with a longer rod. Okay, so listen, guys. $45 or more gets you free shipping. Go to the website. This is what you do. Sit back, relax. Go upstairs to your office. Pull up Cam's Crappie Hole. You'll see it right down there. And you just browse. Every item that's in my store has a video to go with it and also the details. Just sit back and listen. After you get finished doing that, if you have questions, get in contact with me. Just go to contact. You guys can call me directly. There ain't nobody else that knows these products better than I do. Okay? I've even had some people to call me and say, Cam, I need to find such and such. And sometimes in our store, I get lost. Plus, on top of that, you guys are going to see a red banner at the bottom of the top of our website that stays there. Okay? Both of our website, Cam's Crappie Combos and camscrappiehole.com, you can navigate back and forth just by clicking that red banner. So you don't have to sit there and put in www.camscrappiehole.com or Cam's Crappie Combos. Just click the red banner at the top of the bottom, and you can port back and forth between the two stores. Okay? I think I just about covered everything. Guys, you need to get ready. We're in the countdown now. Some of you guys, if you're in warmer states, you're probably already hitting as it is. I want to thank everybody that's been calling me, telling me what's going on around the country. Here in Georgia, aka Thump City, a couple of our bodies of water, Oconee, Sinclair, West Point, Lake Lanier. A lot of you guys have been calling me, Cam, the crappie already staged up already. Okay, so everybody's kind of keeping me informed of what's going on. Guys, I've been doing this now almost 2 decades. Okay, I have the largest e-commerce crappie store in the world. Okay, we're documented. Spend some time on my channel. You want to see how my products work, and you'll never hear me really bash anybody else's stuff because I grew up off of it. All I did, guys, was just took what they built and I made it better. That's all I did because I'm a crappie fisherman. If they, hey, what about if we change this? Hey, what about if we get a backpack tackle box that's water resistant? You won't have to worry about opening up a whole bunch of water in there. Okay? What about if we build a carbon fiber rod that's very, very sensitive? We can tell when those crappie are biting. That's all I did. Okay? If you have any questions for me after you get finished looking at this video, guys, reach out to me. My name is Cam from Cam's Crappie Hole. Till next time, keep those hooks wet, keep those lines tight, and we'll see you on the next turn. Yank!